and Spencer Jones joins us now here in studio at MLB Central. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
You played in last year's game. You get another chance to play in it this year. Just your thoughts on being selected to the Futures game in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, it's an honor. It's one of those special events that, you're definitely never going to take for granted. Anytime that you can be recognized to be out there with some of the best players in the game, it's something that you're going to really enjoy and want to take advantage of.
Have you kept any relationships from last year's game? Is there a guy you hit it off with that you kind of follow that's not in the Yankees organization, or?
Yeah, there was a handful of guys. Blah with the Athletics last year, we hit it off pretty well. Talking to York and Marcelo Mayer with the Red Sox, got to know them pretty well out there, and it's just cool to get to know other guys in the game and make friendships.
What was your favorite moment of last year's game?
Favorite moment? It just had to be hanging out in the locker room, just talking to everybody, meeting everyone. You had Ken Griffey Jr. running around, you had Mike Cameron running around. I got to meet Dave Winfield. It was all really cool.
What'd Dave say to you? What'd Ken say to you? Any advice?
Just little stuff. It's just about enjoying the game, understanding that baseball is all about experience, and just taking everything in stride and having fun.
Whenever I listen to your post-game comments, you always use the word confidence. That for you, it's the difference between a good at bat and a bad one. Has that always been the case? And has the confidence ever wavered or kind of stayed through all the way?
I think it's something that I learned in college. It's something that takes time to develop for a lot of young players, especially guys that are transitioning from, one step of their baseball journey to another. I think the biggest confidence booster for me early in my career was playing in the Cape Cod League during summer ball and playing with a lot of the best players in the country there. And then transitioning to the SEC and, trying to take advantage of that full season and everything we had at school.
Were you a guy that, because the theme today, James Wood's arrival, 6'7". Aaron Judge, what we're watching him do, 6'7". He walks out 6'7". Were you a guy were you always the tallest kid? Did you shoot up? Was it hard to get all your hinges kind of lined up? Or is that something you still work on? Because I'm blown away at a guy your size that's able to, get the ball and drive it consistently.
Right. No, I was always the tall kid growing up. I'm sure at some point someone will dig up the Little League photos and I'm, head and shoulders above all the other kids in the team photo. But, no, it's always been a learning process of me getting everything stacked up on top of each other when I'm at the plate.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I just prided myself on hand-eye coordination, being able to make a lot of contact. And then, as I've gotten older, just trying to put a little bit more emphasis behind, the strength piece of it and hitting the ball hard.
Other team asking you for your birth certificate?
Yeah.
No way, this kid 11.
No way. Hey, you were recently named the Minor League Player of the Week, Minor League Baseball Player of the Week. What's been working well for you?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, a lot of it's confidence. You want to go up there and think that, the guy up there doesn't have anything to get you out with. And, you're ready for your pitch, you're going to be on time for it, and you're going to crush anything that you see that you like in the zone. So.
Well, whenever we have a hitter in studio, you got to talk hitting. You got to do it in front of this big board. And these guys are going to take good care of you. Lauren and I are going to peel off, so you guys talk hitting.
Well, Al Leiter said, I mean, he went to Vanderbilt with Jack, so Al calls me yesterday. He's like, have fun with this. This guy's a good dude. All right, so if Al's signing off on all right, so let's have some fun. You went to spring training, and myself in case, we were in camp a ton of years, and we knew who the top prospects were coming to camp every year. And you were being judged by the veterans.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when a guy would show up.
When you want those guys to do well, too. When they show up, you're like,
yeah, here.
Legit.
So come over here. Lock in over here. I want to talk about your spring training this year because you showed up on the scene, and it's not like you were brand new to it, but you crushed. You got an award for top minor league player coming up to big league camp this year?
Mm-hmm.
What was the name? Do you even know the name of that award?
The Richard Dawson Award.
Yeah, the Dawson Award. And you're murdering balls to dead center right here against Toronto.
What was working for you?
Yeah, what was working in spring for you?
In spring training, I think a lot of it was I trusted my preparation, from the off season. And then for me, it was just about, tracking pitches, wanting to see them well, and then, taking advantage of the ones I liked in the zone.
I know you were looking forward to the last offseason, kind of getting back to work and, getting into your swing. What were some of the things that you worked on in the offseason to bring into this season and into camp?
I think the biggest thing for me was putting my body in a position to see the ball well. That's something that I want to do. And, as you guys know, as hitters, the biggest thing is seeing the baseball when you're in the box, because a lot of things can speed up on you. You just want to be in the position to see it so you can attack it.
And talking about that, you know, you're like DeRosa said, you're 6'6", 6'7", you know, you got the long limbs. Where are you looking for the ball? If you had one spot, you know, the $1 million pitch, where's the $1 million pitch for Spencer Jones?
I would say it's I kind of like them low and away, so that's kind of my window. So I like seeing that that fastball start just above the knee line, you know, middle away, hunting that pitch, and that's just kind of like my zero ball essentially. And then I kind of just branch off of that, understand, you know, what the pitcher's throwing, and then what I'm looking for window-wise.
Are you trying to drive that dead center?
I'm trying to hit that ball hard over the shortstop's head.
Hard over the short. That's Freddie Freeman. That's what he says every time. He goes, I'm not necessarily sitting on a certain pitch. I got these 17 inches covered, and I'm trying to hit a bullet over the shortstop's head.
I like that.
Run this. You're trying to hit a bullet over the shortstop's head. Got him.
Jeez. That was right in your zone. You said like kind of like down and away, something that you could drive.
This is the beauty. Left on left. Do you feel like that helps you? We were talking about with Case. I feel like sometimes when lefties get to face left on left, it keeps that front shoulder. And if you can drive the ball up the middle the other way with power against left, I mean, you're pretty much your fundamentals are on point.
Pause.
Minor league player of the week last week, by the way.
Okay, well, answer that question first about left on left. That's, you know.
Right. Left on left. I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, looking for the window and looking for what pitch you're going to drive.
So that's what. So you're taking the strike zone for people at home, and you're just carving it into 4 panes.
Right. Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
I got I call it the high 1, low 1, high 3, low 3. Those are the different parts of the zone.
Okay.
And then from there, it's like a left-hander. He's got a big breaking ball, right? You have to see that thing start on you where you know it's going to be in the plate. So if I'm looking for that low and away window, somebody who likes to, you know, dice down and away, I'll look for something that starts, you know, more towards me and then try and stay over and hit that ball to left field.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well,
Austin Riley, that's his big thing.
Well, also is thinking windows. Also, too, what are you thinking as far as like? I know for me, and you know, we've talked about this before. I was hunting the fastball 99% of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to work off that. Now with guys nowadays throwing, you know, a lot of different pitches. Are you still working off the fastball, or are you kind of guessing what these guys are throwing you?
I mean, absolutely working off the fastball because it's something that, you know, you can't just magically catch up to 98 if you're not looking for it, right? So, I mean, definitely depending on the situation, majority of the time I'm on the fastball. If I'm, you know, if somebody comes in to throw against me, throws a lot of breaking balls, I might sit a breaking ball in a certain window, but, you know, pitch to pitch, normally I'm on the fastball.
All right, let's dive in on your side angle right here. Run this. Pause. I mean, you don't have a lot going back. There's not a lot like getting into your backside, coiling that back hip we hear so much. Are you just trying to simplify everything?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my shoulders and my hips stacked. So I know if everything's online there and my head stays still, that everything's going to work around that center line, you know, around the torso.
All right, slow click it forward. Pause. That's a nice stroke right there.
Really nice.
Have you had a chance to get in a cage with Judge?
Not yet.
Not yet? I would think he would kind of come up to you being similar size, similar.
I think when Spencer gets up there, I mean,
it's game on.
Judgy loves working, and you got any questions for him, he'll love to talk.
Have you made some differences since you've come out of Vanderbilt with your swing?
Yeah, I've definitely moved some pieces around. I think that's the number one thing that I've learned from at least my first full season and going into this one is, you know, how important it is to take care of your body and, you know, how many opportunities that you get to play, you know, every single day.
Slow heartbeat.
Yeah.
Handled the moment at the Skybox.
That's right, dude. You know? Sky's the limit.
Robert,
bro.
slow heartbeat.
I mean,
we like that.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of tools. Spencer, once again, thanks for coming in studio.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Best of luck to you and the Somerset Patriots as you continue your Double-A season, and we look forward to seeing you in the Futures game.